I'm Nicole. I'm going to be shooting my first video on contouring. This process will take probably 10 minutes, if not less, in your daily routine. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. I will have another video coming out with a more complicated, more evening look for your contouring. But for now, we're just going to stick with the simple. So my model, Courtney, here is joining us. I'm going to be demonstrating all my techniques on her, and I will list my brands and show you kind of what they look like as I go along. So we're going to start with our contour, which is going to be the dark parts of the whole contouring process. You're going to want to use a foundation shade that is about 2 shades darker than your regular skin tone. Courtney already has her foundation and her concealer on, so we're ready to go with this. Sonia Kashuk has a great brand. It's available at Target. It's a foundation stick, so it's really easy to apply and it'll go really fast. This color is Chestnut, and again, you can find it at Target. It's about $10, so really great. It lasts a really long time. So to start, where you're gonna go is you're going to come down below the cheekbone, and you're gonna, some people make a fishy face, but on Courtney, I've done her makeup before, so I know where her cheekbones are. If you're struggling, then you're gonna wanna do that. It'll just help you find where your cheekbones are. But where you roughly wanna start is up by like the corner of the ear, and yeah, you wanna come that far back, and you wanna draw a line all the way down to like your cheek. So like middle of your cheek here. And don't have it like too thick at the bottom, because you don't want this area to be like really dark. And then if you want, she's got a longer face, same with me, so I kind of bring, if you could turn this a little bit, I kind of bring this contour like a little bit straighter and make sort of a triangle, because that's going to make this part of her face kind of contour a little bit more. So I'm going to do the other side here, same thing, just bringing it down and do sort of the triangle. For longer faces. If you have a shorter face, you don't need to do this. You might even want to do like a skinnier line. So you're gonna look like you're in a war zone here. I'm sorry, until we blend. But you're gonna want to take your stick next. And what I do for this process is you work it up the hairline. And for that, I just like twist this stick all the way up in this line along the hairline, because you don't really want it to be too dark. You don't want to like draw a line on this part because it's already like a smaller part of your face. So we do the same on the other side. So once you get up to like above the eyebrow, you kind of want to do like just a little couple lines to bring that down here, and then a line on top of your forehead like this. Now, the bigger your forehead is, the more you can bring this down. The smaller your forehead is, don't bring this down too far, because your forehead's gonna like look like it's coming down way too far. You don't want that. You wanna like emphasize the bone structures on your face. You want them to pop. So like this area that's like a prominent structure, you don't want that to disappear. We're gonna highlight that later. Again, like if you have a smaller forehead, you might not need to do these lines above your eyebrows, or this might be the only thing you put on, and you might not choose to put any contour up here. So then for the nose, you're going to come down either side, make lines, and then kind of just swoop on the bottom and follow the curve of your nose. Now for a more complicated contour, for more dramatic, I know people who put like a line right here, and I'm just not going to do that because it saves you time, and you don't have to putz with the highlighter as much when you do that either. Then you're going to do under the lip, because when you do apply lip makeup, it's going to make that pop, and eventually it'll make your chin stand out. Now we need to blend this contour, and this is really important, this part. Is this damp yet? I'm going to go dampen this sponge really quick. I did that for a lighter, kind of airier contour. For a more dramatic, for more darker, you're going to want to keep this sponge dry, because it won't blend, it won't, you know, make it go away as much. So this sponge, again, from Target, contouring sponge, facial sponge. It is about $10, but it's not like your average facial makeup applicator sponge where you just use it once, throw it away. You can clean this like any of your other makeup brushes with shampoo and water, and you can use it multiple times. It's really useful. I love this tool. So what you want to start doing is you're going to want to take the round end of this sponge, like the big fat end here, and you're gonna wanna use it to blend these contour lines on your cheekbone. You want to blend them up and back. Like, you do not want to bring it down anymore because you're gonna hollow out your cheeks then that way. Don't be afraid to be rough if you need to, but since it is damp, it should be easier to blend. You're gonna wanna blend this all the way up onto a little bit of the ear actually, especially if you're wearing your hair back, unless you cover your ears with your hair to kind of make it look a little smoother, a little more natural. So I'm just gonna work on this side of the face and then I'll go do the same thing on the other side. So along the side of the face, you wanna blend this back into the hairline and you really want to blend it into the hair. It sounds weird and you're gonna be like putting makeup on your hair, but again, if you're gonna be wearing your hair up or back in the least bit, you don't want there to be a foundation line like right at your hairline, because there will be, because this foundation color is 2 shades darker than your regular skin tone. So you want this to look as natural as possible. Again, with this line above your eyebrow, you do not want to bring this down because this is a bone structure that we want to highlight, that we want to stand out. So we want to bring this up and do not come down from where you marked your last line. Okay, I'm gonna work on the nose, and for the nose it's easier because it is such a thin line on the side to use just like the edge of this round part here and just work it in a little bit. Kind of just working it downwards. You don't want to work it like out towards the face, just down and kind of blending it in. You brush the end of the nose. And then bring it down again on the other side. Again, not coming too far out, you'll widen your nose a lot that way. So we're going to do this side and then I'll do the chin. Make sure it's really blended. You don't want to have any like hard lines. You want it to look smooth and natural. Again, with this, do not bring it down, bring it up if anything, and back towards the hairline. Alright, and then you just blend this in here. Again, don't bring it down onto the chin. Just kind of blend it in. It's okay if it's in the crease here, but don't bring it down onto the chin. Alright, so that's what our contouring is going to end up looking like, and we're going to move on to highlighting. So now for highlighting, we're also going to use a Sonia Kashuk product. She has a great highlighter stick, and you can buy highlighter pens. You can do this whole process with powder or creams, but I've chosen to use these sticks, which is kind of like a cream foundation almost. And so she's got highlighting sticks. Again, really easy to apply. You kind of just like wipe them on and blend. So this one is called Sparkling Sands. Again, $10 at Target. Really easy to find, really affordable, lasts for a long time. So we're gonna use this here. So where we're gonna first apply this highlighter is where we want our bone structures to pop out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do under the eye to brighten that area and down a little bit onto the cheekbone. And we're gonna do a little bit of the eyelid and under the brow, and then up above the eyebrow. So we're almost making a circle around your eye with this highlighter, but do not make a circle around your eye. Like just, you're gonna apply it like here, and then here, and on top of the brow, and bring it down and kind of connect it here. So you could look up. And you don't really wanna do like a swooping circle. You kind of wanna like feather it down and out. And you want to be careful not to rub too hard with this, because you don't want it to take off your foundation and concealer. There, that was really easy, right? So now we're gonna go up onto the forehead a little bit. Again, if you have a smaller forehead, feel free to highlight up further. If you have a bigger forehead, you can bring this contour line down a little bit and not do your highlight as high, because that will even out your forehead. So with her, I did bring the contour down to about here, so that's about to where I'm gonna highlight. You kind of just do like a feather up and out, like a fan, just like that, almost like a triangle. And then you're gonna bring this down, this whole shape down, kind of look like a flower. You're gonna bring it down the bridge of your nose all the way to the top. Again, like in a more complicated contour, you'd have a line here and you'd have to putz with it and use brushes. We're not doing that today for sake of time. This is a time-saving technique here. So then we're going to continue down the face on this side, and what you're gonna do is right here in the middle, on your Cupid's bow here and up, you're gonna apply a line there, and then right on top of the lip. This again is going to emphasize the shape of your lip and the lip color that you're going to put on later. So then I'm gonna come back here and I'm going to put a highlighter down below this contour line, just to make that stand out more, to make this whole hollow, like this whole hollow space that we've created with the contour stick out more. It's really just gonna be one small line coming from like almost the base of the ear down. And it's gonna be even with the lip, but don't come all the way to the lip. Just do halfway, again, like with the contour. You can do the same on the other side. All right. Now we're going to use this facial sponge again, except we're going to use the triangular side here, the pointy side. We're going to use that to blend the highlighter. Blending your highlighter, this step of the whole process is the easiest. It goes the quickest because your highlighter isn't as definite. It's not going to stand out as much as a foundation shade that is 2 shades darker. So we're just going to blend this and not going too far below where you placed it. Now for a highlighter, you can use a foundation shade or a concealer that's about 2 shades lighter than your skin tone. I like using the highlighting sticks and the highlighting specific, you know, the products that are specific to highlighting, because they usually have a little bit of a sparkle in them. And I like having that little added glow, especially during the daytime. And you're just gonna work this down. Again, don't go too far, like out of where you already placed it. Come up here, blend it in, and kind of buff it out a little bit up here, because again, it's not going to stand out as much, and it's going to look really overwhelming because there is a lot of sparkle, but when you put your finishing powder on, it's going to kind of kill a lot of that sparkle, so don't get too worried. Blend it down your nose, blended this out here. Other side. And you can add a little bit on the chin, just kind of make that facial structure pop. And what I like to do at the end is just go back with the contouring color, the darker shade that I still have on my sponge because I didn't clean it in between. I'm gonna use this and just do a light mark along the jawbone, sorry. Not too much because you don't want it to be the same shade as this up here. You just want to have enough to bring out the structure. It's gonna give your jawline way more definition that way. And then we're going to finish this whole thing up with some blush. And Courtney here has, let's see, this is Revlon's shade Racy Rose. Feel free to use whatever color blush you feel complements your skin tone. If you have more of a beige or olive-based skin tone, I would recommend using more coral tones, but if you do have a fairer complexion like Courtney, you can get away with using more of a pinky tone, which is what she has. This is Racy Rose here. It's a little pink. Got a little bit of coral in it. And with the blush, you really, a lot of people think blush, oh, that just goes on my cheeks in a circle. No, you're gonna look like a doll. So what you wanna do to apply blush correctly is you're gonna work from the cheekbone down to where we applied that contour, like almost right on top of that, not coming up too far, but not going down too low, because you still want your contour to show. And you're just gonna kind of make a little bit of a line down, and then you're gonna blend it backwards. That's gonna give you the best facial structure there. Again, don't apply it to just the apples of your cheeks. You're gonna apply it to your whole cheekbone, starting back here, work your way down with the color, and then use a clean side of the brush and kind of just blend it up and out. Sometimes I like to use my blush, just like add a little bit of pinky tone up into the temple. And we're going to finish with finishing powder. Now you can use, I believe it's Revlon has a photo ready finishing powder. I like using that. It's got a little sparkle. It doesn't add a lot of extra color. It keeps the colors how they are looking pretty much right now. Or you can use a plain powder foundation that matches your skin tone, because it's just a powder. You're just gonna do light application of it. Swirl and tap, always swirl and tap. You don't want the excess on your brush or on your face. So she's got the Neutrogena skin clearing, and I'm just going to apply that lightly. Take away some of the sheen, kind of even things out a little bit. I'm sorry. You're going to do this to your whole face. If you have like extra oily areas that you know are oily prone, like I get really bad oil spots like right in the creases of my nose. It's a common area for that to happen. So what I like doing is just taking my finger, swirling it, and dotting it in this crease just to add a little extra powder, take away some of that extra shine, a little extra of that pigmentation that usually, the red pigmentation that occurs there. So this is the contouring process. The video probably seems a lot longer than how long it would actually take you once you get a whole hang of this. But this is how it's going to look before your eye makeup. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the finishing touches. I'm going to apply your eye makeup and lip makeup, and we'll have a before and after picture up for you.